now, let us define what is the definition of angles. At the same time, hanapin natin yung tinatawag na 6 trigonometric values of some angles without using calculator. So that is the possible learning outcomes of this topic, no? So now let us define what is angle. So angle, that is the region formed by two rays. So I have this ray OB and then ray OA. Since nag-meet sila at this point, so I have this so-called vertex. So yan yung tinatawag natin na vertex, yung common intersection, point of intersection ng dalawang ray. So the region formed here, that is what we call angle. So si angle, pwede natin yan sketch in a Cartesian plane. Kasi sa trigonometry, trigo, ang gagamitin natin ay yung Cartesian plane. Hindi parehas sa high school na i-draw lang natin yung angle, no? So now, let us try to sketch an angle in a Cartesian plane. So ito, yung explanation nito nandoon sa first module ninyo. So we have 4 quadrants. In a Cartesian plane, we have the first quadrant, we have the second, third, and fourth. So counterclockwise yung pag-number ng quadrant. So in this quadrant, we have positive value of x and positive value of y. In the second quadrant, I have negative and positive y. Dito naman, lahat sila negative. Dito naman, I have positive at saka negative. Okay, so how can I plot or how can I sketch the angle 30 degrees in this Cartesian plane? So, paano ko yan sketch? In this quadrant, itong quadrant na to, as you see, this y-axis and x-axis are perpendicular to each other because they form a 90 degrees angle, no? So, ibig sabihin, as a whole ng isang quadrant, this is 90 degrees, another 90 degrees, which means, pagdating ko dito, I have 180 degrees. So, if I add another 90 degrees to this 180, I have 270. Add another 90 degrees, I have 360 degrees. So, ibig sabihin, in a one revolution, I have 360 degrees. So, to plot this 30 degrees angle, since dito, so, ibig sabihin, itong first quadrant na to, I need to divide this into 3 equal parts. Kasi nga, 90 divided by 3 is 30. So, assuming na nandito yung 30 degrees ko, no? So, just draw, so yan na yung 30 degrees natin. So, how about, pag ang given angle naman ay negative. So, paano po yan i-plot yung negative 30 degrees? So, take note class, pag positive yung angle mo, counterclockwise yung direction. Ibig sabihin, mag-start ka dito sa 0, papunta dito. But if your angle is negative, again, start ka dito sa 0 pero clockwise yung direction. So, if I have negative 30 degrees, so this is negative 30 degrees. So, take note kasi maraming nagkakamali sa previous mga common mistake ng students. Yung quadrant po, hindi yan maiiba. Nabugkalin sa quadrant ay bugkalin na so direction ng angle. For example, if my angle is positive, ito lang si first quadrant. Negative yan, first quadrant pa rito. Nabugkalin sa direction ng pag-number sa quadrant. Okay, so we have the so-called 6 trigonometric functions in trigonometry. Yan kasi yung pinaka-basic foundation ng trigo. So we need to know the sine. We have the sine, cosine, and then we have the tangent, and then we have ang reciprocal ni sine, that is cosecant, and then I have secant, and then cotangent. So you need to familiarize with these 6 trigonometric function. So sa trigonometry, ang ginagamit natin na variable to represent the angle, we have the common variable theta. So yan yung ginagamit natin. So sin theta, that is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So I assume na nakuha nyo na ito sa grade 9 kasi topic yan sa grade 9. So for example, I have this triangle. I have this triangle, tapos nandito yung theta ko. Kung kukunin ko yung sine niya, so I have sine theta. For example, this is my A, B, C. So I have the triangle ABC. So ganito yung pagsulat ng notation ng triangle ABC. So sa pag-name naman ng side, since nandito sa big letter A, na so opposite yan, nandito ito sa side A, tapos ito naman yung hypotenuse natin, the longest side, which is represented by the small letter variable C. Kay B naman, ito siya, no? So para makuha ko yung sine theta, I have the formula opposite over hypotenuse. So paano? So sine theta, opposite, I have A, tapos ang hypotenuse ko ay C. So this is equal to A over C by using this triangle. Anyway, pwede kayong gumamit ng kahit anong notation. Kung walang angle theta dito na, pwede rin yan i-represent by using the variable A since A yung nilagay natin dito. So palitan natin yung theta, we can use the variable A. Okay? So sa cosine A naman, cosine A ko naman, that is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse. So just remember the acronym letters so katawa para hindi kayo malito. Sine, opposite, hypotenuse. Cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent. So yan lang yung kailangan matandaan. So for the cosine A, I have adjacent over hypotenuse. I have B over C. So for tangent A naman, I have opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent. So ang opposite niya ay si A. Tapos ang adjacent ko ay si B. So para hindi kayo mahirapan kay cosecant ang si secant, you just have to remember class na si cosecant, that is the reciprocal identity of sine. Ito naman reciprocal sila. Si cotangent na reciprocally tangent. Which means, ito magiging baliktad na yan. So, hypotenuse over opposite, which is equal to C over A. Kasi the reciprocal ko lang yung sine. For the second naman, I have hypotenuse over adjacent, which is equal also to C over B. Again, kasi binaliktad ko lang yung B at saka C. So for cotangent A naman, I have adjacent over opposite. So that is equal to B over A. Wait lang. Okay, so we have the table for the sine and cosine values of some special angles. So ito yung kailangan nyo talagang i-memorize kasi ito yung magiging foundation natin sa mga further topics natin sa trigono. So kailangan itong itabisado. So for sine 0, by the way class, si sine, ang partner niya always ay si y. Tapos si cosine lang muna ay ang partner yan na si x. So for the sine, diba nandito yung 0 degree, no? So kung nandito, understood na at this axis, at this right side of the x-axis, ang y value natin ay 0 because I have the point or coordinates x 0, which means yung x lang yung my value tapos yung y ko ay 0. That's why yung sine natin ay 0 kasi nga partner si sine tapos si y. And then ang my value lang naman ay si cosine, which is equal to 1 because we are considering now the unit circle. When we say unit circle na ang radius niya ay 1. So that's why 1 dito yung cosine 0 natin. Okay, so for the 30 degrees angle naman, I have the sine 30, 1/2, cosine 30 is equal to square root of 3 over 2. So bakit naging equal si sine 45 at saka si cosine 45? That is basic reason niyan. Kasi po, si 45, dinivide niya yung isang quadrant into 2 equal parts. Because as I said earlier, yung quadrant natin, that is 90 degrees, no? So, si 45, nandito siya sa gitna. That's why yung cosine natin at saka sine natin na equal at the angle 45 degrees. Kay 60 degrees naman, i-opposite lang natin yung sine at saka cosine value. Sine 30 is 1/2, pero pagdating mo sa 60, nandito na si 1/2. So they are opposite. Kay 90 degrees naman, bakit yung sine 90 degrees po ma'am ay 1? Because in this 90 degrees, may value lang na naman ay si y, tapos yung x ko ay 0. So since upper part ko ng y-axis, so that is positive 1, tapos yung x ko ay 0. So at the angle 180 degrees naman, ang sine ko ay 0 kasi nga nandito sa x-axis, meaning walang value yung x natin. Tapos ang may value lang ay yung cosine natin kasi in this axis, yung x natin ay negative. So we have negative 1. At this 270 degrees naman, nandito siya sa baba, no? So I have the coordinates 0, negative 1. I have an value niya na, so y, which is the sine. So sine 270 is negative 1, cosine 270 is equal to 0. Okay, so now, let us define class what is reference angle. So kailangan yung maintindihan si reference angle because you can compute the 6 trigonometric function of a given angle without using calculator. So some angles lang yan kasi may yung mga hindi special angle yung reference angle nila, hindi natin pwede i-compute yung sine, cosine, tangent, and so on without using calculator. So ang mag-compute lang natin ay yung some angles ng reference angle nila ay special angle. So again, ito yung mga special angle natin ha. So ang basic na tinatawag natin talaga na special angle ay itong tatlo. Si 30, 45 at saka si 60, no? So ngayon, let us proceed to the definition of reference angle. So for example, considering this Cartesian plane, so if I have the angle 30 degrees, so kung dito nga yung angle ko na 30 degrees, ang reference angle, ang definition ng reference angle na ginan, so angle up to 4 o terminal side, by the way, di kita man ano na ginanip mo tuwan sa terminal side na. So angle up to 4 o terminal side na gusto pinakamalapit na x-axis, that is what we call reference angle. So if this is 30 degrees, so ang reference angle ko pa rin, which is represented by the variable or symbol na phi, ay 30 degrees pa rin. Kasi nga, yan yung angle na na-form ng terminal side, kita man na natawag sa pinakamalapit na x-axis. So if I have the angle 150 degrees, so asan ba si 150 degrees? So di ba pagdating ko dito, I have 90. So I still have to add this 90 by 60 para makuha ko yung 150. So nandito, assuming na nandito si 150. So paano ko mahahanap yung reference angle niyan? So ito yung magiging reference angle natin, hindi na yung 150. Kasi nga, ito yung angle na na-form ng terminal side. This is my terminal side. Ay ang pinakamaralero na x-axis na diya. So which means I have the reference angle again, which is equivalent to 30 degrees. Okay? Kasi at this side na 180 na, so 180 minus 150, that is 30.